Hi. Hello, everyone. I see people are still clicking in. It looks like we have almost 40 people registered for this graphics workshop. So we're excited. I'm the host now. Um, Happy to see faces. I hope everyone will turn on their cameras a little bit when we get started so I can kind of see the room. And hi, Jake. Thanks for getting us set up.
No problem.
We were so busy and getting ready for everything that we didn't realize that we were not connected. So now we are. This will be exciting. So very hands-on. We'll rock and roll. Kelly and I are going to lead you through the exciting world of Canva. So Kelly, let's see. I have allowed you to share your screen.
Awesome.
And we hope you have questions. And one of the things that we want to chat to you right away is Canva is available to nonprofits for free, a certain version of it. We purchased a pro version so we can have all the clip art we want. I mean, you can never have too much of that. So Canva is very accessible to all of us, and especially as nonprofits. They do have a nonprofit rate as well. So we'll put that in the chat where you can try it, even if you decide not to use it and stick with your regular format, you can use Canva later on and, try it for 30 days. And if it's not your cup of tea, go back to Constant Contact or SurveyMonkey or whatever you're using. MailChimp. But yeah, give them that photo, Cal. Let's get everyone laughing for the day.
Had to make it a little fun.
I can practice. When I saw that come through today, I know, right? I saw it come through today when I'm driving out of my car, and I was laughing so hard I almost hit a biker. No, not quite, but it was one of those chuckling moments. So, yeah, Kelly, you're rocking the Bob Ross look.
My chin beard.
Yep. I just was not rocking the chin beard. I had to give myself a full beard. So.
The fun things you can do with Canva.
Yeah, it just is just one example of all the fun things you can do with Canva. Okay, well, we'll give it a couple. We'll wait for one more minute, and then we'll get started. We are going to record this. So there were a couple of requests, people who couldn't make it today who wanted to go over the Canva, but think, let's see, what do we have here in the chat? Also, Kelly and I will field questions back and forth with each other. So if you have any questions, please, put them in the chat to us, and we're happy to get back with you on those. At the end, we should have some time to ask questions and kind of process some stuff. But we're also just going to show you how we construct some key slides for the Energy Independence Summit. Especially with us being virtual this year and beginning last year, there's an incredible opportunity for us to share graphics across the board, but also to involve more and more of our stakeholders. And as many of you know, Ken had mentioned on Tuesday that we have an opportunity also as Clean Cities, to purchase a package for EIS with 20 opportunities for you to involve your stakeholders, your board members, your industry leaders from your community, from your state, and bring them along with you. So it's an incredible opportunity to join in and on that level with EIS. So I encourage all of you to take that opportunity. We did it last year, and we had over 25 people that joined us at various times in DC. So that was really a great opportunity and such a great relationship builder, a narrative for us to build out with our stakeholders. And again, because they are over several days and the meetings are all over the place and we all work with very busy people, it also gives you an opportunity to offer the variety to 20 different folks in your world. So I highly suggest taking that. It also puts you front and center with the EIS folks. So as more and more people are looking at Clean Cities programs, they can look and say, oh, wow, there's a Clean Cities in my state, or there's a Clean Cities in my region that I can work with, or I see this project as something that I want to invest in or support. And as you also know, Ken and Jake are great about partnering up industry leaders that are from your state or region, or that are relevant to the work that you're doing, and they can also join you. So think about that as well. That's another great opportunity to fill up those 20 slots for EIS. So without further ado, I know we're all busy and it's Friday. We're excited to be joining you today. We're fast and furiously working on Canva in many levels today, where we actually have an awards event, a virtual luncheon on Monday. So we might even take a moment to show you what we're doing there. It's just a little bit different stuff, but we create our awards, we do our newsletter, we do our PowerPoints, we do a lot of things on Canva. And I'm sort of a Canva fan and addict, just in that it's just so wonderful to have a tool that for the first time in my life makes it very easy for the things that I imagine and I want at my fingertips. It's very cool. And I'm someone who started out with graphic arts in college, where we did cut and paste. We were in the dark room taking photos. We were, using clip art, which was very old fashioned, and running it through a waxing machine, pasting things on, using linotype. So to me, this is a dream come true. This is some of the coolest things that have happened with technology. So we're going to go through navigating the home pages. There's a fantastic and easy to use toolbar. There's collaboration design. So Kelly and I will show you how we work together. Working on our newsletter and working on these different projects together is so fun, because in real time, we can both be, or 3 or 4 of us working at the same time on one document. So one of us might grab a page, another one will grab another page. Oftentimes we jump in and work together. It's a really fun process. It's a great team builder, and the products are fantastic, especially when you bring creative minds in on it. So, but I'll show you how to navigate your home pages and how to save documents, and then visualize your message. It's really a fantastic opportunity. Anything you can visualize, that's why I put the search bar here. Search, anything is possible. And it's true. We found some incredible fun graphics and photos, and just about anything you can imagine you could throw into the search bar on Canva and find. So with that, Kel, I'm gonna let Kelly, she's really great at teaching and guiding, so I'll let her guide you through the next step. Thanks,
Awesome.
Kelly.
Thanks, Tammy. Yeah, so I was introduced to Canva when I first came on with Utah Clean Cities, and let's just say I wish that I had this while I was in college, because it would have made my life so much easier. And I actually used it a lot at the end of my graduate school work because of the ease of everything that you can do on this site. So this is what's the home page, and so you can see here there's just this toolbar here where you can look at recent designs, you can look at your team. So that's one of the nice things with Canva, is you can create a team and have certain permissions for folks. And so maybe you have an intern that you don't want to delete anything, but then you have others that need to be more administrative. So you can set team levels within this, and then that creates a collaboration space as well. So you can see here that we have a Utah Clean Cities team, and that's our group. And then you can have other groups. So maybe you have multi, projects, and, only certain groups are working on certain things. So you can create different teams within your Canva. One of the other really great things is you can create branding kits and content planners. And so with a branding kit, you can set, and we'll show you in the additional toolbar when you're in the box, how you can already have your colors for a certain project or for your organization. We have those branding kits lined out, and you can also upload your logos and other photos. So it's all handy right there for you to utilize. The other things are the search bar. So again, you can search templates. There's lots of options here, but you can also search anything that you've saved. You can create team folders, and so you can go into like your projects, and you can set different folders for different projects as well, which is extremely helpful for just record keeping and historical archiving of pieces. And you can log those right when you're in the design piece of what folder that gets saved to. The other really great thing about this is in creating a design, it's already got a lot of really great templates, but also sizing and formatting for you. So you can come up to create and design. These are all the things that you can create in Canva automatically. So you can create videos, you can do a presentation, which is what we're using. You can create Instagram posts. So they're already sized for your social medias, posters, logos, again, lots of different options in here, Facebook posts, stories, cards, business cards. We designed our business cards in here, banners, certificates. So they've got just a ton of templates with the right formatting that you need. And then you can also just create your own. Another beta piece that they have is you can actually import PDFs and it will pull it apart. It is beta, so it doesn't always work perfectly, but it works pretty well. I've been surprised with it. We've pulled some PDFs out of it and it's able to pull and create the multi-levels of that PDF so you can edit it. And you can also upload other things like a PowerPoint. And so it'll, upload into here. So if you have some older stuff that you don't know how to get the data off of or the images, you can upload it into here and you can actually pull that and save it as its own file. So that's kind of the starting point. And so again, we went into presentation mode. So again, that's, the 16 by 9. And so that's where we end up in here. So this is what the back end looks like of Canva when you're working on your presentation. And Tammy, would you like to go over the toolbars on the side or?
Sure. So
I can, it's up to you.
So let me jump up here. I was kind of goofing around on one of the slides myself. So let me share. So should I share my screen? I guess I'll share my screen.
Okay.
Okay. So again, so here's the beginning. Of course, we made this.
Oh, Tammy, you're sharing the Zoom screen.
Oh. Let's do this. Okay. So like Kelly said, so you have these templates. So say you wanted to add something to this. We'll go underneath the agenda. So we add a page. So we have a blank page. Take that, whoops, and you can just push it up top. That's another cool thing. You can move your pages around your document, which is really great, but you can jump in your templates. And so I definitely recommend this. Like, for example, if you're doing a board presentation or whatever, just grab one of these templates that you might look at and we'll add it to this page. So for example, I'm like, okay, well, this looks pretty interesting. So I'll add that to my page and boom, it's there. And then you can add certain information pieces to it. So, building out or recreating a template, I always recommend this. This is a great opportunity. You can say, you can also say, all right, I want it to be for a board meeting, right? So here's board meeting templates. Look at all of them, right? So you can start out with employee onboarding. So you can even create materials for your organization. But for today, we are going to talk about how we're making EIS templates. And you can kind of explore a little bit more, but there are elements. So you have your templates, you can work with them, you can add them, you can deconstruct them, you can add to them, and then you have your elements. So you can search for anything. So for example, today I wanted to look for a search bar. So I said, okay, a search bar. Boom, there's your search bars. Something obscure. Well, the other day we wrote end of the road. The road. Here's all the different things. Dead end of the road, the end, so it's pretty cool what the things that'll pull up for you. And just about anything you can imagine, it'll pull up. End of the rainbow. I mean, there's that. End of the road. And if you put something in there you don't like, just go up on the top and undo it. Or all of us are used to using Control-Z, right? So you use the Control-Z feature. So very cool.
And also, I'll just add in there, they do have very specific things. So like when we search Utah, we do get Utah specific photos. They are tagged in their descriptors. And so just know that, when we look to do materials directly for certain parts of the state, we'll look for rural Utah, or we can look Zion National Park. And there are photos that are tagged as that. So, that's probably Park City. And then you can go to just photos on the top. So you can search photos, graphics, there's video videos that you can use. They usually are small clips. They also have audio pieces. And so again, you can get very specific in making sure that, you know, you're showing pictures of your state and your locations. And you can, to double check that, Tammy, if you right click on the image in the bar there, so you can see right there, it gives that descriptor of exactly where it is. So that makes it really helpful when we're doing our materials and we're specifically targeting Salt Lake City or targeting St. George or wherever. We can be very unique to what we're looking for that particular group of folks that we're working with.
Right, so that was very, so on this one here, they also have some that are videos.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. There's a Utah video. Drive and design super fast. Okay. So other cool, you know, that's another cool opportunity. Also, I mean, so I've laid a photo in there. Now I want to lay in Utah. And so, for example, say I'm going to talk about Park City. I can lay in Utah. I can grab some text. I can say, okay, here's my design, right? I mean, look how easy that is. And then you put in, right? You just click here and you say, Park City, whatever you want, right? Very cool stuff. And then you could go in here and say, okay, well, I want this to be a little bit smaller. I'm going to add, you know, the picture of Park City, that, and then I think, well, you know what? I kind of want a cool background because I don't want the white. So I say, okay, I'm going to add a background. So I go to background. And, you know, maybe I want to be Funkaloo. All right, there's that. There's a Bob Ross for you. You can add whatever in the background. You can add a solid color in the background, right? So already you know, we've made a beautiful graphic right there in front of you, however you want to look at that, right? I mean, so it's such a fun, it's a really fun opportunity. And then you can say, okay, elements. Okay, so now I want an electric charger. Okay, so when I go to Park City, I want to know that I can charge. Okay, so and then this is black. Gosh, I kind of want it to be white. I can make that charger white. Very cool stuff there, right? So you just watched me make a slide. What are some other things you can add to it? You can upload. So say I want to upload something. So Kelly and I uploaded some photos today. You can upload a logo. Another cool thing, say I want, say, Park City electric bus. Okay. Oh, there's a picture of the bus. Huh. Well, I'm going to copy that bus. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to say copy image. I go back to my Canva. And this better work. And then I say paste. Whoops. I had something else copied. So again, so back here, copy image, go here, Control V. There's the bus. So the bus does not look so cool like that. So guess what I can do? I can say edit image. I go in here and I say background remover.
My favorite feature of this whole program.
Favorite feature.
And down.
We're down on that.
Yeah.
So boom, there's my bus. Park City, rocking it. With their electric buses, with their electric charging, with their statement here, whatever we want that to be. What else could we add to it? Some glitter, some action. You can say, how about a skier? And so I have a skier and I go up here and I click on this. And it's like, do I want it to be static or, ooh, I want something animated. So I'm going to hit animated and I'm going to say apply filters. Where's my skier?
And press enter. There you go.
There we go. Sorry. So I have an animated skier here. There she is, animated, rocking it in Park City. Okay, so as you can see, pretty easy, pretty fun. Now, Kelly, you jump in and you start working on it. This is what's fun. Kelly and I can work on this together. So I may say, okay, I don't really like that. I'm going to take that back out. So I back out of that. And then Kelly can jump in. So now Kelly's moving the charger, right? I might say, okay, I want to see snow. And I've chosen an animation. So, okay, I'm going to add some snow. Right? Very cool. Put it up here.
Yeah, and this is where it gets really great when you have this collaboration, as Tammy said in the beginning. When we work on our newsletters, our newsletters are about 7 to 8 to 9 pages. And so we can create a template within this program, and then we can edit it. And it's really easy to, to make it work really well for whatever the theme is that month, or add additional pages, copy things. And it just makes it a really good interactive tool, especially during COVID, as we've all been separated from everybody. And so this allows for that collaboration, even though we can't be in person, and it allows multiple people to work on this, at different times. And so again, you don't have to send it over email, have somebody edit it, send it back over email, have them edit it, and things get lost in translation. And so this is where this piece is just really easy to be able to work. And again, it's an interactive piece for teams that are at different areas and different time zones, things like that.
So exactly, Kel. And so we've built all of these logos that we have in Canva. And so let's talk a little bit about that, and Kelly will guide you through that. One of the great things about Canva, it'll actually create a style guide for you. So say, for example, we want to pull out, what would be a good one? Evie Zion. Let's make a maybe new slide. Okay, I'm going to go out of that one. I'm going to make a new slide. And I'm going to talk about Evie Zion. There's Evie Zion. Okay, so I'm going to click on Evie Zion. And Kel, I'll let you take the next step. This is how you can see what the images are on it. So this is where it creates the style guide. Yep, let me stop sharing. Thank you, Kelly.
Perfect. So, so we're on this slide. So what you can do is when you click on an image or in the background, you can say like, okay, here's the main color scheme. But if you look down here, this is where I mentioned before, you can create these branding kits for your organization. And so this is where they'll show up. So when you're looking for the right color, the exact coded color that we always seem to lose, or the red that's just not the right red, this is where you can keep it and leave it. And so that for future use, it is easy to access that specific color. And so you can see down here, they also have this really neat feature where it will pull colors automatically. So even looking at that, so you see how this changed under the photo colors, because it pulls from whatever colors you have on that screen specifically. So this one, it's pulling from our logo, it's pulling from the gold, it's pulling from the Capitol building. So that's, again, another really neat feature when you're trying to create a slide that's cohesive visually and you want similar colors. And then you can search colors, you can go into here and find different tones. And again, that just makes it really easy there. One of the other pieces that I wanted to mention is that, as I mentioned before, you can create these folders. And so you can see here that, we have our Core West. And so anything that's tagged as Core West will come up. And so this is really helpful when we're making maybe our board presentations, or, we're presenting on all of our projects. We can quickly go in here, grab a slide from Core West presentation that we did, and, bam, there it is. And it's super easy. You don't have to go and search it or anything. And so again, anything saved in that folder automatically goes there. You can also create a folder of logos. And so as Tammy was in that earlier, you can see these are a bunch of logos of our programs, but also our partners. So again, those recurring pieces that you're always grabbing, you don't have to re-upload them every time. Makes it really easy. They have a bunch of other features on here. QR codes are the new best friend of everybody during the COVID times. And so you can create QR codes. And so you can create materials that are for printing that have a QR code, or even a presentation, create it right then and there, and it'll plop it right into your project. And then there's also all of these other integrations. So again, these are just a few of the programs that you can integrate into it. Google Maps, Google Photos. You can create emojis, these characters if you want to get really creative. There's a drawing piece. Instagram, all of these. So, you know, again, a really user-friendly tool and a really well-integrated tool with a lot of the programs that we're able to utilize. You know, and once you're done with your presentation, there was a question in the chat about sending our newsletters through Canva, and we've never sent them through Canva, but there are a lot of options. So you can see here when it comes to how to present and share your information, you can do a presentation mode, and in a presentation mode, there's actually present and record, so you can actually record yourself talking in it. You can have your video on it sometimes if you want to, or just the audio if you'd like. You can share a link, which is what we do often with our partners because it gives them a nice option to look at it this way. And so when they open it up on their side, it opens up like this. And so then they can download it. They can, you know, request access if they need to, but it's an easy way to share a lot of materials if you're just sending, you know, one-on-one. We have like one-pagers of our projects that we'll send that way. So again, super easy. And then you can create it as a website, which is really nice. You can download as a PowerPoint. And then again, you can automatically share to all of these different sources. So you can integrate, it looks like you can share via MailChimp. We've just never done that, but MailChimp is how we send out our newsletters. So that might be something in the future that we do try down the road.
I love it, Cal. Yeah, so let's get more specific. It was just kind of fun to build out a couple of fun, you can see how quickly you can build out a slide, you can build out a graphic, you can build out an Instagram. So again, this has become an invaluable tool. So I'm going to take back the sharing for a second, if that's okay, Kel. And then let's see, am I sharing the right screen?
Yeah, you're sharing Canva.
Okay, so we'll share these slides with you because we worked a goodly amount of time. So if you're wanting them, we'll share some of these slides with you. So if you're in Canva, we'll share this with you. You can open it up. And a lot of these are neutral for clean cities, right? So Clean Fuels America, you know, this is what we're all about. And then you would go down here, advanced fuels for Wyoming, advanced fuels for Texas, advanced fuels for wherever you're from. You can change that out. Put your mission statement down. We all have kind of the same mission statement with our name in there, right? So you can change this piece here. And then how many stakeholders do you have? This is information that stays there that you can speak about, you know, the 2-to-1 match. We need state and federal dollars. We need the public-private partnership. In Utah, we have $30 million of DOE money currently. This is a main statistic, this 460 million here. This is a statistic for all of us to use. So again, we would you know, you would take this and change it to your amount. And then you would change out the Utah, right, down below. And so I'm just gonna put that as a Z. But anyway, go through and change these. So we'll share this slide. This slide is also another, I mean, this you can build out your own, but this is something that you're gonna wanna have as part of your communications packet. You're gonna wanna talk about the summit, right? It's the 2022. And let's see, that doesn't quite fit. So I just moved that around, very easy. Again, this is such an easy tool to use and visualize. It gives you these lines. So if you can see they actually align and show you that you're hitting the centerpiece. Okay, so these are our projects. So these, you know, we built out our logos for our projects. We have, and then what are we doing with these projects? Well, this is a rural and gateway project here, EV Zion. Rural USA is a corridor development program. We're building out rural corridors, we're working with infrastructure, we're working out with vehicles. We have our Core West project now. So we talk about all of these things that are happening in Utah. Here's what Utah Clean City is doing. Here's all of our partners. And then we show, right? We show all of our partners, right? These are all the folks that we work with here. These are our stakeholders, which were mentioned earlier. So you kind of reiterate that piece and say, yeah, and today we have, you know, Salt Lake City with us, we have our board members. And then again, we emphasize that we're working with clean strategies, work with all fuels. We are, you know, we're fuel neutral, fuel agnostic, fuel neutral, whatever you want to call. We also, you know, emphasize we have a green fleets program. This is a really important slide to have. This will be unique to you. You will find your state and you will find your voting districts. And it's really important because as you go through, when you're sitting with your representative from District 3, for us, that is Representative Curtis, we talk about everything that's happening in his district. Okay, so it's like, wow. So this this could have been done better because these colors are pretty light, but the colors behind these logos they're involved with these projects. So Drive Electric is statewide, so it has all of the colors. If I were to do this again, I would make the colors a little bit more distinct, right? But this is the map that we found that we could use. So Core West, statewide, has all of the colors. Drive Electric or Drive Clean Rural USA has all of the colors. EV Zion is just in one area, but it's a huge Utah project. We're all very proud of Zion in Utah. So that's another piece. This is something that I think really got a lot of great feedback from our colleagues and friends of how did we pull together our stakeholders. So again, we Zoomed. Some of my board members were available at one time, some of them were not. I mean, but in general, we had almost 20 people who participated in DC with us. And this was just a screenshot that Emily grabbed last year. And at that time, we had the superintendent from the Zion National Park. We had one of the leading scientists, Dr. David Christensen, who was also the president of my board, talking about Utah State. So there's your academic lean in. We had Hanko Kiesner, who, you know, is just all of you who came to Utah for our national convention for the peer exchange. We went out and saw pack size, and you were charmed by his incredible vision. And he has the largest workplace charging program in Utah. He's a visionary thinker. And so it was great for our delegates to hear from Hanko Kiesner. Jack Hedge is the director of the Inland Port, so he had a lot to say. And then, of course, you know, each delegate knows different people. It's important for them to know who their constituents are, what industry partners are in Utah that are working, you know. So I am being Utah-centric because that's my state, but you make it your state. You make it all about what you're doing. So it's exciting. Put a quote in. And then, Kelly, I'm going to let you take this while I grab the door here. I'm getting some idle free supplies. Just one moment. I'm getting some idle free supplies. So Kel, I'm going to give you this back and you can show how we did the fleet piece.
Okay. Perfect. And then let me share my screen again. So one of the questions that did just come up is, you know, permissions and things like that. And so I'll just follow up on that as Tammy steps away. You can create someone to be kind of the admin of Canva, but you basically can invite folks to join, and then that way they can jump on and create their own design, start things, save things in the same folder, but they're on that team. And so they do have to be assigned specifically to whatever team you set them up as. And then what you can do is when you create a document, there's this share option. So if you have multiple team members, that maybe this is only meant for Tammy and I, and so we don't share it with the whole team because maybe it's, you know, something private, or maybe it's a board document. So you don't want everybody on the team to necessarily have access to it at that moment. So you can change permissions. So you can make it so that, you know, everybody else can view, but they can't edit, or it's not shared at all. So again, there's those permissions pieces. There are no limits on the number of accounts that you can have attached to Canva. So even our interns and everything, we just set them up right away. It's one of the first things that we set them up with. They'll get an invite and then they can immediately jump into this program. So yeah, and so this is an example of one of our fleet awards from last year. We're actually currently working on these later today for our event on Monday, but you can see here that we were able to design this award in Canva, and then it was great because it's a high quality version, because we were able to specifically size it to the size that we wanted in real life, and then we'll be able to basically just download this and send it directly to our printers that we use. And so that makes it really nice, and again, it's easy to collaborate, create templates on here, and then plug and play. And you can pull a lot of great information into this, move things around, and still have kind of the same idea. One of the great features is too, I think a lot of us have YouTube videos and other videos that we like to share. And so when you're in presentation mode, like for this, you can basically go right to YouTube from this slide. And so it'll open up in the YouTube video to share the video. And so again, great to link things within here. And that's another piece in here that we didn't mention as of yet, is that you can actually link stuff. And so there's this linking feature up here. And then when you send this to somebody as a digital form, those links do appear. That's again in our newsletter. You can click through on the PDFs. And when you share, the link here, if you download them as PNGs or JPEGs and things like that, those do disappear, so that, be aware of it if you're linking things. But this is just really great for when we create a presentation like this that's full of information, we can send it on and know that there's a bunch of links in here that everybody can at their leisure click through and review. Okay. Tammy, anything else on that? Oh, you're muted.
Yep. So I think that was a perfect overview, Kel. Thank you for that. I'm going to answer a couple of the chat questions real quickly, so we make sure that we stay on top of that. I'm going to go to Desiree Moore. She said, do different accounts on your Canva team also have access to the pro version? Yes. So that's another fun opportunity that you have there. And it says, Kelly Bear to everyone, she wrote to, and Heather, will this recording be sent out after the workshop? Yes, it will. You can look to Jake to do that. When two people are collaborating at the same time on the design, it's each person signed into the same Canva account. Yes. So it's very cool. Let me show you, and then let me show you something here. So Kelly, let's see.
And Sarah, just to follow up, there aren't, I don't know if there's, you said that there is a limit. So yeah, I don't think in the pro version you have a limit of how many people that you can add. We also only have about 6 of us at a time, so never really hit that cap, but
it would get a little crazy having more than a couple. It's fun because you can actually grab someone's text and move it. So we definitely horsed around a little bit with it. So this is our newsletter. So say I wanted to present this newsletter. So I can go up here and I want to share it, so here's, we're doing our Green Fleets Awards. Here's our front page. So I want to share this. I'm sharing it with my team, right? So here's all my team who shares it, but I also want to copy this link. So I go in, I said, can view it. I'm going to copy the link. Okay. And now I'm going to put it in our chat. And now you have access to our newsletter. It's that easy. It's that fun. Okay. So I should have shares in the Canva session. I'm such a fan, but really fun to collaborate. You can also see all of your pages. And we often do this. It's like, how does it look at a distance? Well, it's pretty dang busy, right? But here's our front page. Here's our Green Fleets Award. Here's what's happening. We're doing a summit. Snowbird is giving us all of their ticket sales on a Wednesday. We do a bill tracker. So I'm going to click on this. And I can see that closer. We track our legislative session. Anything that has to do with clean air, that's on our website. So people can click this, they can go to our website. So that's another great feature. You can click on these links, it'll take you wherever. So we try to keep people on our site. We try to keep them connected to our website. So that's another important piece. But you can go back out, right? And this is another great way to take a look at it and say, how does that look at a distance? How does that generate? So always be thinking. So for example, on the Green Fleets Award that we're doing right now, we took that from last year. We put it in a card this year. We sent it out again this year. I mean, so it's something like once you invest your time in a good design, it becomes kind of your branding for that. So this is a bit of our branding that we've created and we'll use again. And then you can use it for an Instagram. You can cut and paste that, put it into Instagram, you can put it on your Facebook. So that's where we work so well in Canva. So going back up to this, I'm going to pick this back up. And then I want to start fielding some questions so we can solve if there's any particular pieces. So again, just going through this, those are the ones we made, and I'm going to do presentation mode. Okay, so I'm going to present to y'all. So this is very fun. This has taken the place of PowerPoint for me. There is, so it does a really lovely job of presenting across your screen. There's our districts like we talked about, and you can be talking about that. As you move this along in front of your delegates, you can have this PowerPoint shared with everyone because everyone's going to be on a Zoom, right? Here's all your folks. You can show certain things that you're doing. It's a great opportunity to bring up your projects. So of course, we're going to bring up Zion. We're going to bring up how many partners we have. highlights that are happening with it. This is another big piece, again, emphasizing that you work with all alternative fuels, that we are key generators of building out corridors. We work with alternative fuel corridors. We work with all these folks. We work with our utilities. We're working with academics. We're working with our public transportation, how important those projects are. And then, of course, you have someone on your board from UTA. You have someone on your board from Dominion. You have someone on your board from Aspire. All those people are speaking about their projects. Again, I think it's always, and as we see this partnership develop with DOE and the US DOT, really important to talk about how we are so involved with corridors. You know, we have the corridor measurement tool, we track corridors, they're part of our metrics that we do with our annual report, with our quarterly reports. We keep track of stations, we make sure they're verified. I mean, we're a really important, we're an important entity within our states, within our regions. And so emphasizing that, so our federal folks understand, it's like, wow, we're giving $60 million to the Clean Cities program. What do they do with that? Well, we want to re-emphasize 2-to-1 match. For every dollar you give us, we give you 10 back. You know, those are the things you want them to walk away with. All of you do this. All of you Clean Cities keep track of you're doing your annual reports right now, right? We love our annual reports. How do we tease out that information? How do we make it relevant? How do we demonstrate it and show it, right? So we want to make sure they know, here's how many EVs we have. Here's how many CNGs we have. How many biofuel stations do we have? Wow, we have 0 hydrogen stations last year. Guess what we get to say this year? Oh, we have X amount. So it's pretty exciting. Also, I think it's really important for them to know how much fuel your state uses. And those are part of your statistics that you keep as a Clean City. So Utah uses 5 million gallons of gas and diesel a day. And we're a small state, so rocket in California there. If any of you have done anything fantastic, like doing case studies or interesting projects, bring those up, you know, show them where they're linked. We love to show the Alternative Fuels Data Center. It's an archive of incredible information. It's built out for Clean Cities. It helps us do our education and outreach. That's what we're all about. We educate, we do outreach, we show resources, we show success, we work with fleets, right? You know, these are never forget, you know, your bread and butter and what we do. We work with fleets. So it's important to re-emphasize that. That's a really specific niche that we fill. And then again, you want to show all your partners. You want to show all the incredible people that you work with in your state, and re-emphasize, you know, your partnerships, the match that goes into that. So we need their help. You know, the federal dollars don't just go, you know, to willy-nilly. They come into our state. They're matched with our private partnerships. They're matched with our state funding. We have our legislators work to say, gosh, what can we do to build things out, right? So to wrap up, we have like, you know, 10 minutes left. I wanted to open up the floor for people to ask questions.
Yeah, and I do have one more feature that I wanted to share, Tammy. As you were sharing that pie graph, there is a really great feature that we haven't utilized too much, but it is definitely something to be aware of, is the ability to create bar graphs and pie charts within the system. Yeah. So again, you don't have to create something in Excel or an external program. You can actually create all this information right here. And so when you go to Elements and you search graphs, again, it's something that you can really like search any word and you will find something, but you can find all these different options here. So some that move around, and then you can edit the data right in it. So again, another form of visual presentation that is interactive and engaging and easy, so that you don't have to create something outside of this system. Yeah, that's all I wanted to mention.
Oh. That's fantastic, Kel, because those graphs are really neat. I actually did that when we did our redesignation. I used those graphs to show where our money was spent, how we spend our money in our programming, on administration, on, you know, outreach, all those different things. So those charts are actually really fun to use and easy. And I've always found them a challenge to create. And a lot of times we get stuff from we rebuild actually our graphs from our annual report and put in information more appropriately for us to look at. So just to show you how we do some things to show greenhouse gas reductions. This is something that you might want to use moving forward with your annual report. And so I'm happy to share, and maybe we can even get back together after you've had a chance to practice on Canva. But as you do your annual report, one of the things we're doing this year, which I highly suggest you considering doing, because I think it's a great giving to our stakeholders. They spend the time giving us their information for our annual report, the statistics that give us let me get back to that slide that gives us the report information that we're showing here, right? So we rebuilt this chart with what Kelly was talking about. So, you know, you can add the numbers in there, etc. But being able to animate and show. So Kelly, would you be willing to show just how we are graphically demonstrating with our green fleets? So there's a great EPA calculator. I'm going to stop my share. And some of them are good. We like to use trees. We like to use trees and barrels of oil. I think that those are relatable images and volumes for people to kind of relate to. It's like, so what does that mean? I mean, so if I reduce 2,000 pounds of greenhouse gases, what does that equal to? Mm-hmm. So we've really worked hard on our graphic presentations on that level, just so it's relevant. How does it make sense to people? We have a great statistic around the Green River, you know, which is a western body of water. It's one of our main body of water out here. It's kind of it's, you know, in the middle you have the Mississippi, you know, so we have the Green River. So we show and demonstrate volume of oil running through the Green River, equivalencies to the United States oil usage. People are blown away by it. So anyway, here you go, Cal.
Which one did you specifically want me to share, Tammy?
Just anyone from our Green Fleets Award that we have filled out with the graphics that we built out.
Yeah, so this, like the current one that we're working on.
Yeah,
so this is what we're currently working on. And again, as Tammy said, we're trying to utilize this data that we're already having to collect and put it in a visual form for people and break it down, because that report can be very long and overwhelming, and a lot of people don't necessarily know what they're looking at when they look at that report. And so when we acknowledge our partners, we're able to create these kind of, you know, end of year awards, presentations, whatever you want to call them, and then put the information into equivalencies that their stakeholders and their, you know, constituents will understand. And so we look at, you know, barrels of oil, we look at carbon sequestration, we look at prevented trash and garbage. And so I'm sure many of you have seen these equivalencies calculators, and that's what we utilize when it comes to this information. And so, you know, you can calculate in here. And then again, looking at your audience, are you talking to fleets? Are you talking to the normal, you know, the lay person? Are you talking to legislators? You have these opportunities to put it into visual formats that people can actually look and see. They can visualize an acre and understand what that means. You know, carbon sequestered by 4,000 acres of land, you know, especially here in Utah, we've got a lot of land. So, you know, we can visualize it. Maybe it's to the public and, you know, charging smartphones, you know, propane cylinders used for home barbecues, if you're talking about propane reduction, you know, those kind of things. So there's a lot of different pieces in here that you can use to create a more visually appealing and understanding piece for the public. And so again, you know, our partners have told us in the past that when we give them these awards, they hang them up. And so they hang them up in public view of their employees, but also if they have people come, you know, the public coming and going, they get to see these. So looking at the audience and being able to show them, hey, here's what they did this year, and here's how outstanding that was.
Right. And thank you, Kelly. And that's exactly what we all should be doing with our annual report, right? We reach back out to our stakeholders. And this is a report that not only can they hang on their wall, but they can also we'll send it as a PDF. They can present it to their board members. They can present it to their investors. They can present it to whomever. But it's a living document that they can say, hey, look what our fleet is doing. And a lot of fleets that we work with, they have a sustainability mandate or requirement at a certain level. So we can say, wow, you reached your greenhouse goals. And we can tout those out to the community. We can help them also teach their employees, teach their investors, teach their board members what it means to have a green fleet, what it means to have that investment and the return on investment, total cost of ownership, all those things. They're able to pull that out and say, hey, it was worth us investing in this project because we have this going on, right?
Mhm.
So I want to answer a couple quick chats. Jake asked if would it be possible to drop in a half-page PDF from a stakeholder if they wanted materials included in the Capitol Hill. Super easy, yes. So whatever you have, I mean, essentially just, so for example, let me jump on, Kel, if you want to, I'll share this page. There, share back here with this. So I'll just add, so let's just go down here to the one we worked with Park City. And you want to get rid of that.
Tammy, you're showing Zoom.
Oh, shoot. Wow, it's not as fun as the page I'm looking at. Okay, so I'm going to close this down. And so I'm going to take this and then I'm going to group it all, right? And then I'm going to shrink it all, right? And then I'm going to add the template from, let's see, search presentation. Let's just say it's a calendar. Whoops. Ugh.
That'll take over the whole page.
Oh.
Yeah, templates do that. I think you mean to be in Elements.
There we go. So I go to Elements and say I want to add something, so I can add a photo, and it can specifically put a photo in, but say I want to add a PDF. Let's just see what happens when I say PDF. Okay, yeah, there's the PDF. Say it was filled out and it looked like what my stakeholder wanted. Jake, that's an official PDF. So yes,
yeah, and Jacob too, that's one of those beta things that you can upload directly into Canva itself. And then what you can do is, which is really nice, is say you have two files open on Canva. You can copy images and everything from one file and then copy and paste them into this one. And so that we do that sometimes too. If I'm looking for a specific slide deck from another slide or from another presentation, I can copy everything that's on that page and input it into here really easily. So that's where you can upload that PDF into Canva, copy everything, and then put it, copy it right into here.
There you go. That's what it looks like. You can add all kinds of PDFs. You can add PowerPoints. You can rebuild them. You can cut and crop them. I mean, so I encourage you to jump in, play with it, have fun, use your creative license, use lots of glitter. Avoid too many moving things. They absolutely annoy me, but here we are. There's the snowflake falling, but so again, it's fun. Have fun with it. Use it. The best way to do is to practice with some, the best thing I did was practice with younger people than myself who are tech savvy, who could figure out stuff really fast for me. It's like, hey, I'm losing this. And, Kelly would come in and save me and say, do this and back this up. And so
we keep finding features. That's the thing for us too, is that we keep finding things that are helpful and we didn't know, and we've been using this for over 2 years. And so you'll continuously find features that are of interest to you. And as I mentioned to Lacey in the chat, there are grouping and locking functions. So again, if you're just like, nobody touch this stays right here, you can lock it, you can link in things, you can change the transparency of things. So if you need to make the background lighter, it's just a total game changer. And then also, last thing I'll mention is that I believe you can connect certain things, like so Instagram, Facebook, all of those things, you can connect those accounts within Canva, and you can actually track metrics within Canva as well. And so I have never used that personally, but the little bar graph on the top next to the share button, that little bar will allow you to look at analytics. So
that's right. And we all have to keep track of analytics. So as we keep track of our metrics, we're finding more creative ways to bring things in and work with them. So there we are. Let's see if there's we're going to finish up here. Very handy. Thanks. Yep, great grouping. I mean, that's fantastic, especially for logos. You want to lock them in and make them a logo, and so they can't be broken apart. But then all of a sudden you're like, wow, it doesn't really work, so I need to change out a color in the font. You can easily open that up and redo that. But again, I would recommend organizing them in files on the side, or you'll be lost. I mean, you're going to be creating a lot of materials. So just make sure you have a newsletter file. If you have a specific file, like Kelly said, like here's our Core West file. Everything that we have for Core West is in there. You know, so that's handy dandy, and we can work from there. We also have, you know, like here's our East Zion file, you know, same thing, you know, brochures, one pagers, those kinds of things. But again, one of the cool features, which I love, is just the copy link. You can copy that link and put it in an email, and people can go right to that document and see it. So there it is. Canva 101.
And I posted the link. It looks like there is the premium version is free for nonprofits. And so the link is in there. Really great program that helps the rest of us in the nonprofit world, especially when it comes to programs that are very expensive. This one is free for us. So, and even the premium version. So.
Right. Well, thank you. Everyone have a great Friday and a fantastic week, and we'll be seeing all of you soon as we prepare for the summit. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us if you need any support and help. We're happy to do a part 2, but we're also happy to share some basic slides. So we'll make sure that Jake has those and you can pop them into your Canva and use them yourself. Thanks, and have a great day.
Thanks, everybody.